try and get you to know what the goals for driver education are.
But I haven't even yet had a driving lesson.
No, you haven't had a driving lesson, but Daniel has. Because you're not 10 years old yet, but when you're 10 you'll have one. But Daddy will explain it. So, these the aims will be to list and understand. List the goals for the goals for driver education. So this is about what's going on in our minds when we actually driving. So to start off, I've just got these out here. So what we've got is 7 signs and then 7 answers. So you need to match them up. Is that okay? So if you take it out of the clips and we'll try and match it up and just see how you feel.
Why is mine gold?
Because
Because it can.
it's gold. Is it? Yeah, I don't know.
Minutes,
National speed limit applies.
no,
entry.
I know. No stopping.
And then taking is that okay?
Warning or something.
Okay. So just try and match it up. So Daniel's flipping, Mommy's flipping.
Stop
as you see.
sign.
So, well, I'll just let you get on with that for a second.
No. Stop! I think it's the film mine. The fourth one. No entry.
Oh, yes.
Yes. You're just copying me. I think no stopping. And that would be done.
Be clever.
Done.
Excellent. Let's have a look.
Now what?
Well done.
Hey, what are you doing now?
Okay. That's brilliant. So 30 mile an hour minimum speed limit, no overtaking, no entry, stop. That's the speed limit applies. Daniel, that's brilliant. He's 10 years old, he's got it all right.
Petra is 8 years old and she has got
Oh,
it
wow.
correct.
Well, let's stop there. This is really great, because you're 8 years old, Petra. That's amazing. No entry. Oh, Petra, well done. That's fantastic. Let's see if Mummy's got it right.
Yeah, of course. She might not. She might not.
Well done. So all 3 got it right.
So now what?
Excellent. So I'm just going to talk about the different goals for driver education. So what we've got here is we've got 4 different levels. Okay, I normally just on the PowerPoint, but I haven't got PowerPoint in the house. Or whatnot, it's not going to be downstairs, sorry. So level 1 is the vehicle. So we've got level 1, 2, 3 and 4. So the first thing is the vehicle, how the vehicle is, how we control the vehicle. The second thing is the road. Sorry? Okay. And then the journey. Oh yeah, I've got it on the wall, haven't I? Yeah, sorry. And then finally the person. So that's the 4 levels. Then we've got knowledge and skills, risk increasing factors, and then self-evaluation. So self-evaluation is important. It's how we do things, how we review ourselves. Is that okay? So level 1, the vehicle. What do I need to know to operate the controls smoothly and move away, stop, complete manoeuvres, deal with basic junctions as well as maintain my vehicle and carry out basic checks. So that's the basic part of knowing how to control your vehicle. Sorry, Petra, is that right? Am I talking too fast?
No, I don't get it.
Okay, so what it is when you're driving, you need to know how to control the car, like the steering wheel and the gears. And that Daniel's done this, but you haven't yet. But you'll do it when you're 10. Is the gas pedal, the brake pedal, and the clutch, and how to control it. But Daddy will show you when you're 10. Is that okay? Sorry, I don't mean to confuse you, sweetheart. The next thing is, what do I need to drive in traffic? Negotiate busy junctions and forward plan. So when you're driving, you've got to try and plan yourself on the road. So we might have done a little bit of this in the car, Daniel. So it's just looking ahead, trying to plan what we're doing. Looking at weather conditions. So if it's wet, we need to take a bit more time and that sort of thing. Is that okay? And then, what do I need to know about planning my journey? So let's say we're going to the Lake District or something. I need to know, or when we went to Glasgow with a caravan, I Danny needs to plan out that 230 miles, when we're going to stop, how I'm feeling, make sure that I'm awake and healthy and that. Is that okay? What roads I should avoid, how I should deal with things like distractions. So if you need to go to the toilet or anything, you need to tell Daddy, or if you want chewing gum or anything like that, you need to tell Daddy. Daddy needs how to manage those distractions. And it's the person, so who am I? Excuse me, I'm sorry. What goals and ambitions do I have? So do I want to be a really safe driver? Do I want, is that what I'm looking for in life? And what views and opinions do I hold? And what do I most enjoy about driving? Do I enjoy making the roads safe, keeping the roads safe? Is that how I conduct myself on the road? Why do I want to learn to drive? So am I there to make the roads safer? That's what we're asking. So that's the 4 levels, and then there's risk increasing factors. So what happens is you'll do things that will cause higher risk. So what if I didn't wear my seatbelt, or check my tyres, or carry out basic checks? What if I brake harshly or accelerate fiercely to steer sharply? What could go wrong? So by planning early, by not compromising with things like braking and driving that we're looking ahead, that means that we're going to be safer. Is that okay? Is that all right, Paige? I was going to say, oh, thank you for saying that. So what it is it's kind of, we're supposed to wear the seatbelt. So some people say, oh, what happens if I don't wear a seatbelt? Will it be okay? So that's why we've got to ask ourselves, do we want to be safe in the car, or are we going to mess around? So if you're mature in that, you want to be safe, a safe driver. Okay. So you'd wear a seatbelt, and you wouldn't, when you brake nice and early rather than brake late, and then the brake lights come on very late, so someone can hit you in the back. You want to brake nice and early, so the brake lights come on early. Is that okay? Well done, sweetheart. What are the risks of driving at night? So it's just being aware of those risks. Adverse weather conditions. What could go wrong if I don't look ahead and plan properly what I'm doing? What could go wrong? So if I'm just concentrating on changing the music or talking to someone, I'm not looking well ahead. So I need to look well ahead and plan what I'm doing. Is that okay? So what risks are involved with drinking and driving? So some people think, oh, it's illegal to drink alcohol and drive, but some people think, oh, I'll be okay. So we need to just have the right attitude towards these things. So some people have got the attitude, oh, it's never going to happen to me, and then they're in trouble. So we need to sort of take responsibility for things. Is that okay? So what type of personality do I have, and what are the risk increasing factors of being a thrill seeker, or aggressive, or anxious, or nervous? So if we're anxious when we're driving, we need to sort of work on that so that we're planning well ahead, so that we're not going to be anxious. So we're planning, we're giving ourselves space and time when we're in the car. Is that okay? How good am I operating? So this is self-evaluation. So this is the vehicle. How good am I operating the controls? What weaknesses do I have? And how well do I choose the correct gear or time my gear changes? So how am I deciding when to change gear? How am I deciding when to brake, when I push the brake? So it's how good that you are at operating those. So if you feel confident in changing gear, confident in steering the steering wheel, then that makes you a safer driver. Is that okay? And then how good am I at dealing with other traffic? What strengths do I have and what weaknesses? So we're dealing with other cars on the road, and we need to sort of be able to deal with those people. So we give ourselves a buffer. We should give ourselves space and time to deal with those problems. So if you've got a car ahead that's been very reckless, moving in front of us, going very fast, we're going to hold back and give them room to make the mistake we think they're going to make. So we're thinking for the other road users. Does that make sense? Rather than get angry,
Yeah.
we're just going to give them room to make the mistake we think they're going to make. Is that all right? And how good am I at navigating a route and planning? So we're looking at the journey here in self-evaluation. So how good are we at planning a route? If we're not good at planning a route, we need to stop and just kind of brake. So how good am I at navigating a route and planning? how does tiredness affect my concentration? So if I'm getting tired, I take water to hydrate myself, and if I'm getting too tired, I'll just pull over and have a rest. On the motorway, that would be at a service station. And what strengths I have to do with peer pressure? So somebody in the car, a male young man in the car, under 25, he's got one male friend with him. The risk of having a collision goes up by 44%. With 2 male friends, it doubles. And then with 3 male friends, it actually quadruples. It goes 4 times higher. So young men can statistically will encourage other men to do dangerous things. So just there's nothing wrong with driving with your male friends, but just be aware that it is dangerous, and you need to be able to keep yourself under control. Is that okay? And then you've got to understand what weaknesses you have. If you find it hard to say no to people, just say, I'm not going to drive tonight. I don't feel like driving, because there's an increased risk factor of having male friends in the car. Now, how well do I manage myself? This is the person. How well do I manage myself? Am I able to reflect? So am I able to sort of, like when Daddy makes mistakes in the car, he rewinds it back in his mind another 10 seconds behind, saying, okay, I came too quickly up to that roundabout. What was I thinking of before? And I'm going to rethink what I did. So I'm going to think and check earlier. So I'll rewind it in my head and do the same thing and check earlier. Is that okay? So do I understand the consequence of my action? So if I go too fast, I might hit somebody. So I need to understand those consequences. And how will I cope with driving once I pass my test? So when the 4 to 5 months after you pass your test are the most riskiest. So you've got to work out how you're going to deal with that. So it might mean taking a break, not driving too much after you pass the test, but just take it easy and not just take it a step at a time. Is that okay? So I just want to check your understanding. So with male friends in the car, is it risky to have male friends? It's not relevant for you, Petra, but for you, Daniel, if you've got male friends and you're like 18 or whatever, is it a higher risk of having an accident?
Yes.
Yeah, well done. Excellent. Do you remember how much of a higher risk? Or
44%.
yeah, well done. 44%. Excellent. So well done. So you've understood that. So, Marta, if there's 3 male friends in the car, how much does the risk go up? Do you remember?
3 times.
It's actually a little bit more than that. What I said. So it's not 3, it's a bit more than 3.
It's
Daniel,
times 4.
that is not.
Well done, Daniel.
That is not. It is 3 times more than
No.
you know. If you've got 44%, 3 times 44 is how much? It's more than
It
100%.
doesn't work like that, darling. Because what it is that they're saying that the more people, the more it goes up. So
Yeah.
it's 44% with 1.
You
With
still
2
go
people,
out
it
over
doubles.
100%.
You can go over. With 3, it quadruples. So what it exponentially goes up. So with more male friends, it's not the same risk again. It's a lot more than that because they'll.
No. Is it like when you have like 2 friends, yeah, like twice, and then like it times the twice into 4 times, 4 times into 8 times.
Yes, it quadruples. Yeah. So yeah, if there's a 10% chance of a collision, then with 3 friends it goes up to 40%. Or that's not a really good one. But it's just 4 times more riskier. So
At the end.
I'm just going to check the clock. I think it is. Just bear with me a second. I've got an extra 5 minutes, so I'll say that quite quickly. So what I'm going to do is I've got another task for you. So who's on? So here we go. So we're going to try and put it like a puzzle. Try and put those in. Don't worry if you can't get it. It's a little bit. It's like an extra time thing.
What?
Navigating. Oh, you've got 3 different ones. Oh, very good.
Yeah. So it's just like a jigsaw puzzle.
So you already done 2?
Yeah, I've done 3 already. Is it
Oh,
3?
3, I did.
So what it is you just got to try and fit it in. Now, the spaces are reasonably the same, so it's just putting it on there.